handheld viewers here. That's a cool idea. I'm gonna do it. Okay. Yeah, I love this whole... Jesus. Okay. That was unintentional.
Cornerstone of light.
Ooh, that's gonna be a clip.
Where the frick is this one? Oh, it's down frickin' here. We're gonna get it! 3, 2, 1, and... Woohoo! What is going on? I was gonna say, what the hell? Yeah!
I got it in mid-flight.
Hell yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
There's something in it. I can clearly see that. Ugh. Yeah. Okay. That was cool. Thank you so much for the host, Andrew. God, I am sweating. Okay. All right. A foot or a foot long. I can't unhinge my jaw.
Total sploosh.
Good timing on that.
Where are you? I haven't actually seen the trapdoor at all.
Yeah, I'm completely lost. I have not seen it, heard
Not
from it.
even.
Yeah, fuck you.
That flew over your head.
These axes are just too powerful, man.
Oh shit!
Oh, are you kidding me? Wow.
Well done.
Damn. Nice.
Can someone clip that, please? That was pretty epic. Oh yeah, we'll kill the bitch. Can't enforce a contract when the contract holder is dead. He's just talking, and she could say nothing. That might be his most perfect female. You just name her Dear Diary.
Okay.
We are betrayed, my king. Xerxes knows of the path behind the mountain.
Oh.
By dawn, we will be completely surrounded.
We are Spartans. When are we not?
Spartans. That word will mean nothing when Xerxes wipes your bloodline from the face.
Oh shit! That was great. Even. Yeah, right.
Was a day the Persians will never forget.
Say hi.
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 Okay, wait. It just got turned red. Did somebody shoot it?
My
Oh,
dragon.
you
I was curious if I could reach it from all the way underneath.
Okay. Oh, you know what? No, you know what? Justin says he's sorry for shooting your
Yeah,
dragon.
I'm sorry.
Justin's sorry.
He's not sorry.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, I
Like,
love
I was
torches.
literally sitting.
He was
underneath
shooting
the
at dinner.
stairs.
He was shooting at dinner, sweetie. It eats lead.
God damn it, I can't seem to time it right. Hey, but I'm finally slowly fixing the lighting issue. What's up, guys? Happy Friday! Cocktail Dad is back, and we thought we'd mix it up a little bit tonight. So we are doing the Battle of the Bulge, which is a huge war. Not war, what do they call it?
It was a war.
Oh, it
World
was
War
a
II.
war. But I mean, like, an aspect of the war, what do they call it, a battle?
It was a battle, but it was a global war, so.
Yeah. So we are going to be covering that. Well, actually, this light is a little bright. I may have to tone that down a little bit because, blinding my left eye. Holy shit, Russ! Dude, what's up? I haven't seen you in a day. What? Oh my god, what you been up to? So, yeah, so my dad, who has actually been in the Vietnam War, I felt bad because we played Call of Duty Cold War, which had a battle that actually happened in Vietnam. I'm like, God, I would love for him to be able to see that because, you know, and get his experience and what he dealt with because he was in the Air Force during the time. So I said, screw it. Before we do the Battle of the Bulge, you know, we're just going to break with everything and we're gonna go play this because I just want to hear from him, like, you know, how realistic is this, like does any of the cinematography kind of resonate with him, especially with you guys too, because this has been really awesome in playing this series, is that we've been getting a lot of feedback from like people who've been in the military, like they really seem to enjoy this series, and like having someone they can talk to about like ammunitions and what it's like to be in the Russ says, sir, thank you for your service. That's so sweet. I think Russ was a military guy too. My memory sucks, and if I am wrong, please correct me. But in any case, I do miss Russ. Oh my gosh, I was watching like some old Tours Day, like I miss the old group, and weirdly enough, Retro Millennia is back to streaming, but they're back to streaming on Twitch. I'm like, I miss the old usual suspects. I was thinking of you, and I was thinking of like everybody, and here you are. It's like, if I think it, it will happen. Oh my gosh. So, yes, so we're going to take a quick detour before we hit the Battle of the Bulge, and we're going to head back into the jungle of Vietnam.
And actually, there's a close correlation between Vietnam and World War II, especially
so?
the Battle of the Bulge. A difference in the war.
Oh.
And the mistakes that were made, like Vietnam.
Yeah.
Vietnam was really a civil war.
Yes.
Between the Viet Cong and the South Vietnamese military,
which we got involved with.
And but they were supported by the North Vietnamese, China, and Russia. Mm-hmm. And obviously, with World War II, everything was clear cut. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting is that as you look at it, you couldn't have two different styles of warfare. In Vietnam,
They're very different. Yeah.
Yeah. In Vietnam, there was no front lines.
Right.
So there's no safe place to go.
Oh God, no.
Okay. Where in World War II, if you look at even the Battle of the Bulge, I mean, we had a battlefront, and so you had the front lines where most of the battles were being taken, but you also had a rear area, so that you pulled people out from the front lines and they got to rest a little bit, and then before they went back in. In Vietnam, Iraq's the same way. Like Vietnam is basically a civil war.
Yeah.
Although it was against insurgents also.
True.
But there was no safe zones anywhere.
No.
So that was the big difference. And then there was a lot of mistakes that were made in both wars, which was really unfortunate. But we'll get into the Battle of the Bulge and the big mistakes that were made there.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear about that. But real quick, Benjamin the Rogue, what's up, dude? So he actually spent time in Afghanistan. He said, thank you for your service. Did my time in Afghanistan. Glad to hear stories from a fellow vet.
Hey, thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Afghanistan was, I mean...
Afghanistan was a lot like Vietnam.
It was.
Because, again, you had no front lines. So you had no safe zones in Afghanistan. You couldn't have a hard time telling who the bad guys were and who the good guys were.
Exactly, and the same problem we had in Vietnam. Sorry,
Right.
I smiled really fast. That wasn't in relation to the war. Your favorite son-in-law said, Dad! What's up, dwarf? How are you doing? How are the kids? Hold on, let me pull up the game. The Bears. I missed that show. Whatever happened to that show?
Which one?
The Bears. What was that?
Oh, that was part of another show, but I can't remember what
It
it
was, and I'm having a hard time remembering it. Thank God. Okay, people in chat, help me out. Ooh, hold on. So yeah, my dad has not seen any of Call of Duty Cold War, and a lot of it, like, he lived definitely during, as I did, during the Cold War. So, and I was even telling him, like, it's really weird because this game starts you off in Vietnam, and I'm wondering, like, why does it start you off in Vietnam? And I think the reason for that is
there was a big reason for it.
They wanted the one that they said, like, they laid the stones in the game, that Vietnam kind of laid the foundation before the Cold War, which I didn't even know.
No, actually, the Cold War was just the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, the Cold War really started right after World War II.
Right.
And
the
that
50s
started,
were a big part of it.
Well, that's actually started right just before the end of World War II. The Russians had decided, and Stalin had decided, they want a buffer zone, and
That was
that's
the
why
Iron
they
Curtain.
overtook. Yeah, that's right. And that was Eastern Europe, and that's what really started the Cold War. And it intensified. Well, we had the atomic bomb, and then they got the atomic bomb, and then China got the atomic bomb.
It's a Mexican standoff.
So during the 50s and early 60s, or most of the 50s and 60s, it was a very dangerous world. And Vietnam, it was really a lot to do with the Cold War, because the way we fought the war was we didn't want to start another World War III.
Right.
So that limited us as far as what we could do. You know, we didn't want to bring the Russians and the Chinese in. During Vietnam, for a long time, we couldn't destroy the airfields in North Vietnam because there was Russian and Chinese advisors. They didn't want to kill them and then bring the two back in.
Because the domino effect, like we had in World War I.
So that's where the Cold War and Vietnam actually came into play. With World War II, we didn't have any of that. World War II is I wouldn't call it a clean war, but it
was pretty cut and dry, wasn't it?
It was a defined war.
Yes.
Everybody knew who the enemy was because they wore a different uniform.
Oh God, the
Okay?
easy days.
So I mean, you saw
easier.
You saw a German in a German uniform, you shoot him. You know, the same thing happened with the Japanese. I mean, so that was clear. And then on top of that, you had battle fronts, battle lines. And the war was fought along those battle lines for the most part, with the exception of bombing and stuff like that,
of course.
obviously, okay? But in Vietnam, there wasn't. So the Vietnam War, and since we couldn't establish any battle lines, what they wanted became a war of attrition.
Really?
Yes, exactly right. And what really hurt us in that was because it was a war of attrition. In other words, body count was everything.
Oh, we're winning it by numbers.
We fought battles like Hamburger Hill, which was really bloody. I mean, there's movies.
I mean, the name would indicate.
Well, the movies depict it very well.
Wow.
The other movie is We Are Soldiers.
That's a good movie.
With Mel Gibson. That's probably, and people have said, that's the most realistic movie about Vietnam.
About Vietnam. I was going to say, like, I thought
No.
Saving Private Ryan kind of really hit on
Well,
D-Day.
that did too, but as far as We Are Soldiers, that was one of the first real battles between us and the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese. And if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. I mean, it's intense, but it shows that we gave a lot of guys lost their lives in that battle.
God, yeah.
And after we won it, we walked away from it. Case on, well, that's what happens when you're fighting a war of attrition.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
You're doing search and destroy, but you don't hold on to what you've got. Khe Sanh was the same thing. That was one of the biggest battles during the Tet Offensive.
I think, no, we're going to be in Da Nang, but they mentioned Khe Sanh.
Well, Da Nang is pretty close to Khe Sanh. I mean, Da Nang's right near the DMZ, okay?
Your sister's in chat.
Hey, Janet.
What's up?
So anyway, that's what made Vietnam really tough. Afghanistan was something similar to that, except we didn't worry about anybody else in there, but we couldn't define who the enemy was.
That was tough.
Yeah, and you're training Afghan soldiers, and you don't know which ones are real and which ones weren't. That's why a lot of GIs got killed.
That's a shame.
From those who they were actually trying to train because they were the enemy. Iraq is the same thing.
Right.
And those are kind of wars that are really, really almost impossible.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've always believed that in Afghanistan we should have went because it was Al-Qaeda that killed those 3,000 people in New York. We should have went in there and wiped them out. The Taliban was harboring them, and they wouldn't let them up. We could have gone in there and really nailed them and then leave.
Yeah, it's like the same problem that we had, and don't worry guys, I'm going to catch up with chat real fast, but like this has been the biggest problem I've had with Vietnam and like every kind of military engagement since, is that there's no clear, we're in it for this, and as soon as we get this, we get out. Because that was a problem with Vietnam. It stretched out into such a long war.
And we were limited. I mean, the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese were able to use Cambodia and Laos.
Oh, thank you.
As sanctuaries, and we couldn't go in there to get them. So, you know, in war, like in World War II, we bombed the hell out of Europe.
Oh, yeah.
We went in there and we tried to
Well, so
take
did
out
Germany.
Germany's means of waging a war. So
Mm-hmm.
you attack the factories and the armaments and those kind of things. We couldn't really. We did that in Vietnam and North Vietnam, but a lot of stuff was being harbored over in Laos and Cambodia, which was for the most part off limits.
Right, which we couldn't get into.
Yeah,
which,
so
like,
that's
what's
why
the
if you
point?
compare Vietnam to World War II, and then you see it's a difference
It's
of
so
night and day.
different. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Well, let's catch up real quick with chat because we've got some really fascinating stuff in chat. See, Benjamin the Road says everyone was pretending to play by the rules during Vietnam, and everyone knew everyone was only pretending.
Well, we tried to play by the rules, but then again, when you're in that kind of a war and you're going into villages, all right, and these are villages that we knew were harboring Viet Cong.
Right.
And that's where their weapons were at. So again, you go in a village, you don't know who the enemy is, and you got friendly people in it, but you don't know who they are. So it comes down to what do you do? And sometimes if you're involved in that for any length of time, you get trigger happy.
I imagine, yeah, because you start to like question like the shadows around you, going, "Oh my God, you can't even trust your own eyes after a certain point."
Well, my analogy is that people say, well, you guys were baby killers and stuff. I said, if you got a 12-year-old kid pointing an AK-47 at you, what do you do?
You have to make a decision.
The decision's easy. You shoot him.
Yeah.
All right, and people say, oh, that's so bad and stuff. That 12-year-old, all you got to do is squeeze the trigger. You're dead.
They're there for a reason.
But it's a moral conflict though. Is what do you do?
It was a huge moral conflict.
and
yes.
and that's what really makes it tough. So people who never been there, can criticize, and some of the criticism is earned.
Agreed.
My
Yes.
Lai was a disaster; should never have happened.
Agreed.
All right, but there's other cases where soldiers were put in a no-win situation,
Yeah.
and it was either die or try to, and so that's what happens. That's really a tough kind of war. It's the same thing, like say with Afghanistan and Iraq. The guys who and the women who fought that were in the same boat.
Yeah, completely.
All right, so war is immoral. And the best thing to do about a war is to end it as fast as you can.
And that's what makes me so angry with any kind of administration. Like, get in, get out, get done.
Get done. And the other thing, our military has always been great in wartime.
Agreed.
I mean, we've beaten everybody. Even in Vietnam, we actually won that war. We lost the political end, but actually won the war.
And that's what Benjamin just said. Like, we were. Hold on. He mentioned something that we have actually talked about. We were absolutely stomping the enemy in Vietnam. Unfortunately, the media had a different idea. You are 100% correct.
Well, the guy that I really put the biggest blame on is Walter Cronkite.
Yes.
Because in the Tet Offensive, I read the book from Gao, who was the head of the North Vietnamese military, and they said that with Tet Offensive, we basically destroyed the Viet Cong's ability to fight a war, and the North Vietnamese were going to go ahead and sue for peace.
Really?
That's right, because that's how bad they got beat.
Wow.
And then Walter Cronkite got on there in front of the world and said, "We can't win this war." So at that point in time, what the North Vietnamese said is that we can't beat the United States militarily, but we can beat them politically.
And they've been kicking our ass since.
And they said that the way you do that is you keep on killing Americans, no matter how many of their own troops died. Keep on getting them, because sooner or later we're going to war. That was, I remember a lot of guys I knew that were in Vietnam late in the war, and the number one saying at that time is you didn't want to be the last U.S. soldier to die in Vietnam.
No, who wants to?
Unfortunately,
My God.
I wasn't put in that position, but I could understand it.
Completely.
But when you look at World War II, all right, everything was crystal clear.
It was.
I mean, the Allies did some bad things, like when the British bombed Dresden. There was no need to bomb and destroy Dresden.
I was wondering why we targeted Dresden.
That was something that Bomber Harris, who was the head of the British bombing campaign, and they decided that as far as a morale breaker for the Germans to go ahead and destroy it. But the problem is Dresden had no military value whatsoever.
That's what I was wondering. Like, why?
And some people say that could be a war crime, and I agree with them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, all the battles that were over there, it was clear cut.
Yeah, it was.
And we tried to eliminate, try to prevent the loss of as many non-combatant lives as we could.
That was the goal.
Yeah.
Right.
It did, but if you look at Japan, they said, "Why didn't you do the same thing in Japan?" And I said, "By late in the
It would have
war,
been another 10 years.
there was no non-combatants.
No.
If you look at what was going on in Japan, everybody in Japan, women, children, everybody
Was gang
prepared
pressed into, yeah.
That's right. So that was kind of different story where Germany was a little bit different. But anyway, where you want to take this now?
Oh, sorry. Yes. So let me catch up quickly with chat. See, he's so on. Look at this. Like, he's got into the mode. He's like, okay, cool. So I'm going to give you a story, but we got to keep the pacing going. So what are we doing here? I've trained him. I've trained him. Yes. We have a family of streamers. God damn it. Let me catch up here real quick with chat. So we covered that one. Octeric said the Soviets made the first move in the Cold War by blocking all ground and water transport to West Berlin.
They sure did.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. The West had to rely on planes to get... Yes, the what they call that?
Well, that was the
Berlin airlift. That's it.
But what really stopped what the Soviets were doing, it doesn't get much press, is that Truman sent a bunch of B-29s over to Germany, and the Russians knew that we used the B-29 to drop the atomic bomb.
Oh, damn.
So that kind of influenced a little bit, you know.
That would. I would assume that would. Let's see. Alma says, my grandfather was on Hamburger Hill. No kidding. Wow. I didn't find out about that until years after he died, but the worst part was after they won it, they left it.
That's right.
Like exactly what you were saying.
That's right. We did it every place because, again, it was a war of attrition.
It was a war of numbers.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's see. Benjamin the Rogue says we were fighting Pakistanis almost more than we were fighting Afghanis.
Well,
He's
the,
talking about,
the Pakistanis were harboring the Al Qaeda and also Osama bin Laden. Look at where they killed them at. It was right across the way. It was in Pakistan.
Was that?
It was right
I never
across.
knew that.
Yeah, it was right across the way from a Pakistan military training center.
See, I'm learning.
Yeah.
Octeric said the Soviets wanted Germany to stay crippled so they couldn't instigate another conflict.
That is true.
Yeah, I can
That
kind
is
of see
true.
their point. I mean, between them and France, like, the Soviets probably had enough of people trying to invade them.
Yeah.
They also said the Vietnam War was a long and hard war and left both Vietnam and the U.S. exhausted and begging for an end to it. I completely agree. Like, that war should not have gone on as
Well,
long
once
as it
they
did.
got to a point, to me, if you're going to commit American soldiers and airmen and
You
and
better
Navy,
have a plan.
you got to do two things. Well, a plan's only good until the first shot's fired. That's what the famous
You know,
phrase
that's
is.
fair. Yeah.
But at the same time, you better be willing to commit whatever it takes to win that war. Or otherwise, you got people dying for nothing.
It's all or nothing. You push
And-
all your chips into
And
the
we
center.
lost 58,000 troops over in Vietnam, and people don't like to hear it, but it's a fact. Those are 58,000 wasted lives.
It was.
You know, but today Vietnam is one of our closest allies
Isn't that funny?
because they hate the Chinese as much as we did.
Yeah.
But it's a shame that we had to go through that and lose all those lives in order to
Yes.
make that happen. In fact, what a lot of people don't know about Vietnam, in '46, Ho Chi Minh actually came to Truman. And France wanted to reestablish the French Indochina, which was also
Still?
Vietnam. Yep.
They don't learn.
No, they don't. And then what happened was that they went to war. So then Ho Chi Minh came to Washington and asked. He didn't ask us to provide military aid to his group. All he asked us was to withhold aid to France. And to me, that was a fair thing to do, right?
That's fair.
And when Ho Chi Minh went back to Hanoi, he thought he had a deal.
Oh.
And they had a parade, and they were flying American flags all over
I
the place.
heard about that.
That's right.
Wow.
So we went from that to what we got ourselves into. So that was a huge mistake, you know.
That's a shame.
In World War II, we also made a critical mistake. And that is we did not get involved. We should have gotten involved with the war
Early. Yes.
But we couldn't because U.S. public opinion was against going to war in Europe.
Completely. Isolationism was
Exactly.
king.
But if British or the French would have challenged Hitler prior to Poland,
Yeah, like head on.
all right,
Yeah.
the German army officers were ready to overthrow Hitler.
Really?
Yep.
No kidding.
They hated him. They laughed him as a little army corporal, you know. Oh yeah, they hated him. But the problem is that once he took Austria without a shot.
Yeah.
And once he took Czechoslovakia without a shot, and all those other ones, he became so popular in Germany that the German army was really, they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, they had no.
We
Yeah.
would have challenged Hitler in 1939, 1940, World War II in Europe would never have happened.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, so, you know, it's one thing that if you go through the history and really study it, forget about the names and the dates and the places. That's nonsense. Okay?
No, yeah, that's not really what
you
you're
look at
learning.
You look at cause and effect.
Yeah, cause and effect is what you should be
Yeah.
learning in military history.
Yeah. So as you start to build up and actually get into Battle of the Bulge, you start to see some other critical errors that were done. And when you're ready for that, I can give you a little story. about
Cool.
the
So we're
Battle
gonna
of
be
the Bulge.
learning a lot of stuff tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, Alma says people were very rude to the vets coming back from Vietnam. I completely agree, and it breaks my
Well, no, to expound on it, because I got caught up in that.
you did.
Yes, I did. Because that was 1969, I was in the Air Force 69 through 75. And even though I wasn't physically in Vietnam, I was in Okinawa, and we were supporting linebacker 1 and 2. We had
Those
a
are
lot
big
of-
offenses.
We had a lot of our airplanes and our folks that were deployed down to Vietnam. I was supposed to go to Vietnam, but what the Chinese or the Taiwanese gave up their F-5s to South Vietnamese Air Force.
Wow.
And we had to send 2 squadrons of our F-4s down to help the Taiwanese in their self-defense, and I ended up going there instead. So, I was down there on my second tour of Taiwan when the war ended.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we partied that night because we didn't know. I thought I was going to Da Nang. I mean,
That's funny because that's where we're about to go.
Yeah, I thought I was going to Da Nang. We used to call it Bang Bang Da Nang.
Bang bang da nang.
There's a reason for that.
Alma says her grandfather was in the Air Force and she had one in the Army, the other in the Air Force. It's amazing how many military brats are in the stream. That's so cool. I love you people.
Well, if you look at how many military people that were in the wars and stuff, that's a big number.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Moses says, big respect. Thank you for your service, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Aw, you guys are so sweet. That's why I love this. Yay! Hold on, let me catch up with chat here. Snark says, if only I could have been taught all this in my history classes at school and my teacher knew how big I was into... Yeah, this is the shit you don't learn. You just learn names, dates, places. Like, that has... The one thing that taught me the most in high school was World War I. If you ever want to learn about military history, from my standpoint, learn about World War I, because names, dates, all that shit doesn't mean a thing. It's all about the domino effect. How 2 little countries fighting with each other can pull everyone into a war. That is stuff that they should be teaching us.
The thing about World War I was, a whole bunch of countries that were looking for an excuse to go to war.
Oh, that's true.
That's
yeah.
what it was all about. That's why what they did with Germany was during the
the
Treaty of
appeasement
Versailles.
crap?
No, the Treaty of Versailles.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what
That was
caused
just
World War
begging
II.
for another war.
Yeah, it did. That's why Hitler, the Rise of Hitler came out. Mm-hmm. But to me, history is so important. But they
Yes.
just teach, like you were saying, they teach names and dates and times. No, that's not. That's nothing.
It's
You can
cause
forget
and
that.
effect.
It's cause and effect. Mm-hmm. And then you can go back to history and you can start tying in things as something happened way over here and it was obscured. Mm-hmm. And some people say, "Well, I can't make the connection over here." And there was a TV show, like on Discovery, where somebody actually went ahead and
Did the
with the
red
dots.
line through? That's
Yeah.
cool.
And it's really amazing. So, but again, they don't teach that.
No, they don't. Benjamin the Rogue says, I do physical therapy with the Vietnam vet who drove the M50 Ontos tankette. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah.
He's told me about fighting some of the battles from inside that little thing. He loved that thing. Mm-hmm. That's so cute. Octeric says, I bet Joseph Stalin shat himself after he discovered that the Germans were getting B-29s. Probably. Although Joseph Stalin really didn't fear anything. He thought he was...
Well,
all
actually,
power,
the thing about Hitler and Stalin, do you know that Stalin killed more innocent people than Hitler did?
Didn't Russia suffer more casualties than everyone in World War II?
But I mean, this was Stalin killing his own people.
Oh yeah, completely.
And same thing with Mao Zedong, right? So yes, Hitler was evil, but so was Mao Zedong
Oh,
and so was Stalin.
big time.
And yet we don't hold them to the same.
It's so sad.
It is,
well,
yeah.
I mean, we like to take a name. It's all about the sound bites.
Yeah.
Twitter has absolutely ruined us. Ice, what's up, dude? Say hello to yourself and everyone for me. Hi, Ice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Benjamin says, I'm afraid that Afghanistan is going to end the same way, a waste of blood, sweat, and tears. I have the same feeling.
Well, the thing is, though, why did we go into Afghanistan? And we succeeded in that. All right, and that was to
the
flush
initial?
out Al Qaeda, and that's right, to take out Al Qaeda, and also the Taliban sympathizers, and we did that.
But we went after what's his name too, right?
Well, we went over after Osama bin Laden because he was the one who masterminded the 9/11.
no,
attacks.
not him. Who's the other guy?
No, it was the other guy actually did the planning. Osama bin Laden was the leader of the thing.
He was involved?
Oh, big time. He was
the guy they pulled down his statue. Why can I not think of his name? Who was the first people we went after in Afghanistan?
Well, the first person we went after was Osama bin Laden, but we
Guy
had a
with the
hard time
mustache.
getting him.
No, the first Desert Storm.
You're talking a different war.
Oh, I know, but we
You're
went
talk-
after that same guy.
Oh no, we went after
Hussein.
Hussein.
Yeah.
But that was he had nothing to do with 9/11.
No, but we went after him again. And
Well, it's ironic in that Bush Senior, when they asked him why did we not take out Baghdad, and he says because if you take it out, you own it.
that's true. You have to manage it.
Right. What we did with Hussein was to get him out of Kuwait.
Right.
And there was a lot of world dependency that was going on, and that was a good thing to do. We didn't have to go into Iraq. Okay, we could have sat there and we could have launched cruise missiles anytime we
That's
felt
what
like.
I was wondering. What the shit?
We could have sent a cruise missile up his ass. I mean, but we didn't. So
that COVID
so
test.
Bush Jr. didn't listen to his dad.
He did not. That's very true.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm so excited for this one. I don't care if we get copyright strike because the music is so good. Sounds kinky. Not that kind. It was Hussein. Yeah, I was struggling because I'm like, I remember Desert Storm. I remember the yellow bow ties and I could not remember his name. You know where I had to remember it from? And this is embarrassing. Arrested Development. When they did the whole thing about where they built the houses from. How embarrassing is that? Benjamin the Rogue says Bush Sr. did some pretty awful and shady stuff as head of the CIA, but he was the head of CIA?
Bush Sr. was.
I did not know that.
But don't forget, though, I mean, there's a lot of things because he was the head of the CIA that nobody knows about because it's all and even today it's highly classified. You hear excerpts as far as what was going on. So I'm kind of reluctant to go after Bush Sr. as far as what
That's
he did
fair.
in the CIA. We're never going to know.
We're never gonna
a lot
know.
of stories that were going on.
That's
so.
true. Okay. So we're going to do this regular. And don't fault your daughter when she gets a chance to use an automatic and she goes absolutely batshit crazy. Oh, Snark has yet to do the tank mission. Let me know.
Going back to Vietnam. First time Perseus pinged our radar.
I'm so
It was late
excited to hear what you think of
January
this.
68. We were a joint CIA SOG task force embedded within the 3rd Marine Regiment near Da Nang. SOG was there to sniff out Soviet activity. Word had it.
Oh, absolutely, Octerix.
Perseus had no known presence in Vietnam.
That changed at Da Nang. Somehow Perseus knew about Operation Fracture Jaw.
Fracture Jaw. That one sure went sideways.
Was there actually a campaign called Fracture Jaw? Or did they make it up? No, there was.
I think there was.
Wow.
I don't know much about it.
Good. We want those memories.
They did the research.
Details too small.
At least I think there was. I mean, there's so many operations and it has so many names.
This feels like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Yes, Moses, we are going to be getting to World War II. I just wanted to jump to this real quick because since my dad was in Vietnam, I wanted to get his take
No,
on
I wasn't
how
in
real
Vietnam. I
this.
thought I wasn't in Vietnam, but I was part of the
We were
operations.
part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump to the Battle of Bulge right after this.
That one sure went sideways.
But I think once you see some of this, and then as we get into the Battle of the Bulge, you see some of the mistakes that were made.
That's true.
It's crank time.
What the hell is crank time? I don't think I have that appendage.
I never heard that.
Okay, good. So it's not just me. So we are in Da Nang.
Welcome to another day in the life of Camp Haskins. A little oasis in the middle of this godforsaken shitstorm.
Do you hear that
Pretty
song
safe
playing?
here.
It's gonna be hard to hear, but they're gonna play it full.
Hey, Butcher.
We used to sing that song a lot when I
Really?
was in the Air Force. Is that the Vietnam rag, rather?
No, but you're gonna hear it really big in a second. That's true, Octarix. Yeah, no, yeah. We played this through, so I'm gonna assume that it's okay. You guys can say. Mockingbird. Now that's interesting.
Now, when I was a buck sergeant in the Air Force back in 1970 rather, the Army came out to Luke, and they asked us if we wanted to transfer over to the Army, and we could do that and be warrant officers. You know what warrant officers did in the Army?
I have no clue.
They flew helicopters.
I would not.
You know what the life expectancy was of a helicopter?
20
pilot in Vietnam?
seconds.
No, a little bit longer than that.
Okay.
if you want medals and stuff, that's what you did.
Wow.
Yeah. I said I don't fly into anything unless it has one or two things. They said, "What's that?" I said he has to have a flight attendant or an ejection seat.
Hey, Sims, you know reading that shit's gonna make you go blind. Yep.
I wasn't looking to be a hero.
Bell, you're with Sims. You usually bring out the best in each other.
Don't worry about the context. None of this is gonna make sense, but that's fine.
FOB4 Ripcord is holding a vital asset. Charlie wants real bad.
Oh, Jacob says I love your dad. Yay! I love him
Sign you
too.
don't ask about. Ripcord has been taking a hell of a beating. So it's our
See, a
job
lot
to
of
get
this
the
I know
asset
about,
fuck out.
but you know,
Relax. We got fast flyers providing
I couldn't really
counter-air
comment
support
on a lot of
for
this stuff. I
It'll
mean,
be a
it's
walk in the park.
it looks
Did
like
you
it's
work on these planes?
No, I worked on jets.
Oh, okay.
I didn't touch helicopters.
Oh, okay.
I worked on F4 Phantoms.
I do want Adler's glasses. Here's the song. Oh, what I love about this, we're about to see, is the view. Like, look at that view.
Oh, this one here, I thought it was a different song. The Steppenwolf.
It's this Steppenwolf.
Because you're a smart guy, Sims. The news isn't bad. In fact, it could be very, very good. The asset of Ripcord is going to have to wait a little
Wait,
while.
hold on. I gotta get my flying goggles on.
Taking a detour.
Oh,
That's good because
oh, I can't see shit. All right, here we go.
there may be a heavy hitter in town. A Soviet operative known
Do
as
they fly
Percy.
with this? I have no clue.
No,
Okay, good, because I can't see.
no. They had a face shield that came down like you do in fighters and stuff.
At an intel gold mine.
Benjamin the Rogue says, were you in the 391st or the 390th?
Me? I was with the 18th Tech Fighter Wing. We had F4s down in Thailand that were what they called wild weasels. They were the ones that went after the SAM sites. And we had turnaround crews for F4 support in both Benoit and Da Nang.
Who the hell gave these people RP friggin' Gs?
Those have been around for a lot of years. They're cheap. They cause a lot of damage.
They do. Oh, stop shooting me!
The Germans had a different thing. It was an anti-tank thing. I forget what they called it, but it had a bigger head on it, and it looked like an overgrown RPG.
Oh, we're touching down.
Let's do it.
Alright, we're gonna do this somehow. No, shoot to me! Oh. See, the hat helps, but short of that, it is really hard to tell.
See, this looks like something like during the Battle of WWII. There wasn't a lot of big city fights. Most of the fighting was through jungle and little
holy
hamlets
shit.
and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good to know. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm bleeding. No, thankfully not Panzer Shreks. Let's hope we never have to do another Panzer Shrek.
Our source eyeballed the Soviets at a building in the center of town.
See, and I don't recall anything where Soviets were actually active
Oh, this was completely added for this storyline.
I mean, there was suspicion that the Chinese pilots were flying some of the MiGs against us, but there was never even a hint that either Chinese or Russian troops were actually engaged in combat.
Ah.
So this is kind of, you know.
Okay, that's definitely good to know. Benjamin the Rogue says, I was in the 366th Wing. We had monuments and plaques for our time in Vietnam with the F-4. We became the gunfighters because we stapled guns onto the F-4 because the missiles sucked.
Yeah, in fact, on the F-4Cs, because the F-4 was never really designed for dogfighting. It was designed for fleet defense and to shoot down bombers. And he's right. The sidewinders were terrible.
Were they?
Yeah, a lot of times you only had like a 25% rate, but they didn't have a gun, and our kill ratio was almost 1-to-1. I mean, it was terrible.
Really?
So that's what they created Top Gun for the Navy.
Oh.
And I think it was Red Flag for the Air Force, and they started teaching these pilots how to dogfight. And then on the F4, what they did is they had a centerline Gatling gun that mounted a centerline to the airplane, and they installed that, and that was pretty good. And then the newer F4s like the E models already had a Gatling gun built into the airplane.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I got a really good gun. Jacob says, if you ever get the chance, you and your dad should go to New Orleans and check out the World War II Museum. It's really awesome. That sounds like fun.
Well, I got an opportunity too, because down south of us near Tucson is a place called Pima Air Museum. And there's an F-4C that's down there. And I actually worked that airplane when I was in Taiwan.
No kidding.
That specific airplane. And the airplane that I was the crew chief of is sitting on display at March Air Force Base.
Huh. So if you guys ever go there, there's
Well,
my dad's handiwork.
In fact, I got a picture of that thing. That's tail number 611.
Hey, Lord of Cancer, what's up, dude? Oh no, I'm not gonna take him to the whole story because I don't know how much he's really interested in the Cold War.
Actually, in this here, I'm not really, because this isn't Vietnam to me.
Really? So it is kind of like hyperbolic.
I mean, yeah. There was a battle away. There's a few, but most of the fighting by the infantry and by the Marines was not this kind of fighting.
Ah.
It was a lot tougher. You're out in the jungle. Like I said, if you really want to find out what it's about, see that movie We Are Soldiers. It's on TV. They have it from time to time. Mel Gibson does one hell of a job as the commander.
Well, I'm staring at two bodies that sure as hell don't look Vietnamese to me. Bell, grab that comms log. Let's see who the fuck they've been talking.
What I would have done with this here is I would have had some action from the tunnel rats who used to crawl in the tunnels and stuff like that. That'd be great in a game like this.
Benjamin the Rose says, "Oh, you were crew dog? I was a load toad. Flight line, unite!"
Hey, I'll tell you what, you guys. I mean, it was us and heavy maintenance on F4s because they were tired airplanes. It was you guys as far as loading, and it was the engine guys who were out there. I mean, almost all three of us were on 12-hour shifts in Okinawa, and you're 6 or 7 days a week down in Vietnam.
We're inbound now, Ripcord. Get that asset ready for transfer.
We could tell in Okinawa when we were going to something that was real because we flew a lot of training missions. So they had the fake stuff on the airplane. And then all of a sudden we're out there in the flight line, and here comes the weapons people, and they brought the real stuff, and they started taking the fakes. And then we knew that okay, we're going someplace, and we're gonna have some fun.
Oh, you're gonna be embarrassed of your daughter right now because my flying in this game is really bad. Not on this part. I can destroy a city pretty well, but...
And as far as you weapons guys, you know, I liked you guys, except when I walked out to my airplane and saw I had a whole mess of 750-pound high drags.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah, because my back was going to take a beating that day.
Why is that?
Well, they had these things on the back that opened up like that, so it slowed down the bomb, so the airplane could get out of the way. Oh, and I saw those on my airplane. Oh man, I think I still have scars from those.
get rid of that. Oh god, I've got a flyer on my 6. Ooh.
How much more are you gonna go with this one?
Oh, this is almost done.
Okay.
Is he not gonna follow me? Oh, you bastard. Fine, I'll shoot him. Damn it, go. No! See, these I can control a hell of a lot better.
Well, yeah, but you can't really control them with a mouse and a keyboard.
Oh no, I mean
you
I
need
can do
stick.
this a lot better than I could the friggin' tanks.
Yeah.
But I can't seem to get any altitude right now. Benjamin Rogue says he thought your back took a beating. Imagine trying to contort yourself around the damn things to load them.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I bet you got as many scars as I do. Yeah, your mother used to get really mad at me because I get brand new fatigues. And a week or so later, got a big tear in the back. And she'd get mad. And I said, just imagine what my back looks like.
I'm right. All right, we can jump out of here. I was just curious to hear what you're taking. So we know that this really isn't
That wasn't the way. No.
kind of part and parcel.
No.
Okay.
It was more of a jungle war.
And
this here is this is kind of a fantasy thing.
that's good to know.
Yeah. I mean, the one that you had before with D-Day and stuff like that was a lot more
Realistic. Yeah. Oh, okay, good to know. So I'm glad to see, and I don't think like their goal for that piece of that was realism. More like it was trying to set up everything else that they were trying to do.
Well,
in
what
Cold
they should
War.
do is call it something else.
Well, they did. They called it Call of Duty Cold War.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't even that. I mean,
oh no, we get into like we have to go into East Berlin. We've got to break into the KGB headquarters. That's fun.
You know, those are good things. Because in reality, in the Cold War, nobody ever fired a shot.
I know, isn't it amazing?
Scary times. Everybody was afraid to bomb, including the Russians.
That's true. It was a Mexican standoff on biblical proportions. Okay, here we go. So, Battle of the Bulge. I felt so bad. I have to say this. I mentioned that tonight, and my dad thought I was taking a shot at his weight. I'm like, no, that's the encounter we're doing tonight. Where's my mouse? Hello? Oh,
Well, while you're getting into this, let me give you a little backdrop on this.
Please, yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, in World War II, there was always a battle line. All right, and there was one as we went through France, and we started pushing the Germans back towards the Rhine. Well, there was a theory that said that because we had a lot of rookie soldiers, we had other soldiers coming off the front and stuff, and it was more or less a rest zone. And they decided the Ardennes area was the safest spot because the Germans would never go through there because it was too thick. It was too much, there was no way to get tanks to it. What was funny, what was sad is that's exactly what the Germans did in 1940 when they went to attack. That's right, Norway, not Norway, but to go into to fight the French. The only one who suspected that could happen was Patton.
Patton was really smart.
Patton already had a plan just in case it happened. And he flat out said, he says, let's see now, everything's against the Germans, this and that and the other thing, and why they wouldn't. He says, now I think that they're probably going to have a winter front.
Oh.
And that's what they did. So that's why the Germans went through the bulge so easily. It was because we weren't ready for it. And that was stupid.
Because it's weird because Napoleon went through the winter and fought and lost.
Yeah.
And thank God, because Hitler's like, I can do it better, and he could not.
I was teaching somebody, I said, well, the Germans knew how to get through the Ardennes forest.
Yes, he did.
Because they used the same trails that they used back in 1940. Dummies.
Benjamin the Rogue says there was a lot of disappearance and assassinations during the Cold War. Bloodless, it was not the expression of wet work. Yeah,
That's right.
Russian wet works like Spetsnaz and all them. I would not want to cross them in a dark path.
Well, the thing is, the whole Cold War was really spies and those kind of things.
This was like a CIA kind of a war.
When I say there wasn't a shot fired, I'm talking about military.
Yeah.
Everybody was afraid.
Oh god, I was a kid during that time, and they're like, okay, you're just gonna get under your desk. I'm like, okay, I get under my desk. I had no concept of what a nuclear bomb was. Getting under your desk would have done nothing, but you were told in elementary school, oh, if you get under your desk, then radiation's not gonna kill you, and we're like, okay.
Well, it made people feel good. That's all it was.
Yeah, and at a certain point, you do have to feed them some kind of
But
bullshit.
the irony is that they have a term on why what prevented an actual World War III, and it was called mutual assured destruction, otherwise
Well, we
known
call
as
it
MAD.
Mexican standoff, yeah.
No, we call it MAD. They knew, the Russians knew that if they launched against us,
We'd launch against
we
them.
launch again, and we'd wipe each other
And
out.
humanity is gone.
That's right.
Because if there's one thing humanity can do, it's destroy itself.
It's okay. They weren't doing the replacement any good.
We're not even in Russia. This is.
But see, if you look at what these guys were wearing, and this is authentic.
Yeah.
I mean, our guys, they did not prepare them for this kind of weather, and to me, that was a disgrace.
We are Lord of Cancer. Unfortunately, we're going to get there kind of late, like we did in the real war, unfortunately. Alma says, I lived in a nuclear power plant as a kid. No kidding. We had to learn to go under desks. Same. My mom laughed when we told her and said, your best bet is to go over and kiss your ass goodbye.
Well, I had a high school teacher. I took a class. It was a weird name. It was called Problems of Democracy. It's a social studies
There's
class,
so
right?
many. Where do you start?
Yeah, but it wasn't about that.
Yeah.
You know, and the guy was right. He said the safest place in the world is Wall Street, because the Soviets would never attack Wall Street because they had so much of their money and their wealth tied up with Wall Street. There was no way that they were going to attack Wall Street.
So they'll never attack the eastern seaboard then?
Well, no, because because the U.S. economy would tank, the world's economy would tank, and they lose. You know, the Chinese are in the same boat. You know, the Chinese are going to test Biden. I'm a little concerned about that.
Right.
But at the same time, they can't afford to go to war with us because they lose too.
And that's why they're not actively everything's
They'll
kind of
keep on
passive.
doing things as long as they feel they can get away with it.
Until we threaten them financially.
Well, threaten them financially or militarily. I mean, you know, that I think that if there is a battle, it's going to be conventional because nobody's going to launch a. But at the same time, you got idiots, the crazies like what's his name from North Korea, and Iran. That's a different story.
That is, because they'll do it just for shits and giggles.
But the thing is, we could take out Iran during lunchtime.
Really?
And turn it into a parking lot.
Why were they such a problem then, in the late 80s?
Because we wouldn't do it.
Oh, that makes sense. Alma says, yeah, I lived by the Fermi plant in Monroe. We actually went under lockdown after 9/11 because they thought they were going to attack it. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. People are shooting at us. I should probably shoot at them. Hi! Welcome to my gun.
Was that it? Scan for more.
China's economy is already showing signs of falling apart. Really?
Chinese economy is fake, okay? And what I've been in China a couple of times, and you got to keep on reminding yourself that it's a socialist country and it's communist. I like the people over there.
Oh, the people are great.
They are. They're all capitalists as far as the 20-somethings and 30-somethings and stuff. But everything over there is regulated by the Communist Party, so their economy basically is fake. They got big cities over there that don't have a single person living in them.
Really?
They built them, that's right. They built them, and they're going to try to bring in the folks from the farms and stuff, and it never happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Where am I going?
I don't know.
Oh, like Battle of the Bulge. Just someone tell me where to point a gun. This is like my...
Go find somebody to shoot.
I got a treat for you.
Do you? Are you smoking a doobie?
This is Howard. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
What's up?
Sorry, I didn't expect to work alongside such a fine engineer.
The finest.
That took the ridge. I can't believe they let him fight. Oh yeah, they even let us die. Now, when this convoy rolls through.
Shit, this reminds me. When was the Tuskegee Airmen? Was that World War I or II?
World War II.
Really? So, wow.
And yeah, and they were terrific.
They were awesome.
Your grandfather was, because he was flying B-25s. But even though it was in Japan or in the Pacific.
Yeah, he was on the Pacific front.
But when the European War ended, they transferred a lot of guys from Europe over to the Pacific. And they just raved about the Tuskegee Airmen.
Oh my God, they were so cool.
He said they would go all the way in and come all the way out with you.
Wow. I guess I'm following them. I don't know why tanks need my tiny little gun to help them. Oh, this is not going to end well. What am I shooting at? Oh my God, tank, protect me. They're shooting at us. Seriously, where am I going? Oh, I gotta go. Hunker in the bunker. Tuskegee Airmen were capable of shooting down the most advanced German fighters during World War II, the Me-262s. I've not heard of them.
They took care of all the racial...
No.
They destroyed all the racial stereotyping about blacks. Because they said, well, they weren't smart enough, they weren't this, they weren't that. And those Tuskegee Airmen, I mean, they showed that they were as good as anybody.
Son of a bitch.
And what was really sad was everything they did during the war, and then they came back to America to segregation and racism.
That's such bullshit.
Yeah, that was really sad. But yet they fought like hell for this country.
They fought like hell.
Yeah.
Tanks without infantry support or dead tanks. I did not. I'm learning. Why can I not stand there? What am I shooting at? Where does it want me to go? Oh, Pearson. Hi, Pearson. Would love commands, sir. And I use that term lightly. The Me-262s were the first military-deployed fighter jets in history. They were much faster than any of the fighters the Allies were using. Ooh!
Which airplane was it? Oh, the Me-262? Yeah, the problem was it was too late in the war. The engines were terrible because they wouldn't last long.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. But if they would have made them in mass production, it would have been a different type of war.
That's fair. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't like the snow! I don't even know who I'm shooting at. Can you please wear different colors? I mean, like, help a girl out. Also, I mean, you could use a hand.
It's shot to hell. It's gonna take some time. Keep him occupied.
Yeah. Help me dial 411, please. Got that one at least. Got that one. How do you not die? Okay, Dad, what kind of caliber weapon am I shooting right now?
That's a Garand, so that's a 30 caliber.
Like, you'd think one would kill a homie, right?
Well, even when I played that game about the mafia, and I had to shoot somebody at least 20 times.
You played the game about the mafia and you didn't tell me?
The Godfather.
Oh, that's a great game.
Yeah.
I love that game.
But it was the same thing, but then I learned what you do is you shoot him in the head.
Yeah,
it only takes one bullet.
There
like
we
that.
go.
Yeah.
Okay. Aw, fuck. God, I always shoot where they are, not where they're going. This is why I suck at multiplayer. Oh, I can call for support now. Actually, that's a Lee Enfield number 4 MK1. It fired a 303 British AKA. Oh, okay, you're about to be really disappointed in your daughter because I think I have to fly a plane now. And this is my second really strong whiskey. Don't drink in Warcraft, people. Yep, here we go. I'm gonna disappoint him. Okay. Oh, what, you're talking about the Garand, not the bolt-action rifle? I have no clue.
Well, the British had the British...
Oh, God!
The British had the British...
Pitch up, pitch up, pitch up!
The British had the British Enfield, that was a 303.
Uh-huh.
And I think the Garand was a 308, but I can't remember. I know it's 30 caliber. But even today, that's a great gun as far as shooting competition.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I can't ascend. I don't know where I am. I could be in Scotland, and I would not know. Okay, here's planes. Oh, crap. I'm gonna die because I'm in the wrong area. It would have been cool to have met him and hear his story about the Tuskegee Airmen. I wish I could have met my grandfather too. He everything my dad has told me, like, he is such an awesome person.
Well, for a lot of you, may not have heard this story, but actually, towards the end of the war, my dad was flying in B-25s out of Kadena Air Base, Okinawa, while the Marines were taking the island.
Uh-huh.
And his son got to Okinawa in '72 and stationed
When
at
he
Kadena.
left.
So I used to tell people, I said, yeah, my dad got to Okinawa when we took it away from the Japanese.
Oh, no.
And his son got there when we gave it back.
The Garand was a .3006. I have one from World War II and take it shooting every now and again. That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's get near the front of the flight group.
Oh, speed up.
Sound like a 308. That's what I used to have.
I've heard that's a good gun.
Well, a lot of the snipers were using 308s.
Oh, press S to make tighter turns. Okay, that's good to know.
But they're all 30 calibers.
I see him. Let's keep him off those bombers. Break formation.
Can I... There we go. Shoot the clouds! I gotta get ahead of them. Because I gotta shoot where they're going, not where they are. And
You're shooting your own airplanes now.
Well, they're fragging...
I mean, you just destroyed that B-17
You know...
there. Well, the game gives you a hint. Because I'll have the German marking, like when you're going after them.
I'm so gonna slap the shit out of you after this.
See it there? So that's telling you that's a German airplane.
See it there? Yeah, I did. The only icon on my screen. You know, Lisa does not give me this much shit. God, I can't get my bullets ahead of him. Where did he go?
Well, you guys shoot ahead of him. Or get behind him.
Someone please tag this. This is a clip. Alright, I'm gonna speed up. And I'm gonna fucking nail him! Yes! I know I accidentally killed 10 Americans. You know, Benjamin, you and my dad can go grab drinks together and just talk about how much I'm a disappointment.
Hey, Benjamin, I'm ready.
You know what? Just, I'm gonna make you do this and then laugh at... I'm killing a lot of Americans!
Well, then quit shooting at them. This little dot right there will tell you what you're shooting at. It has a star or it's got a cross.
Fucking Lisa, are you saying this? What the hell?
See that cross right there? That's German. And you got him.
I didn't shoot him. That was someone else, but I'll take credit for it anyway. Who else am I killing today?
I don't know, but you're becoming a German ace. I couldn't. If I didn't say that, I couldn't forgive myself.
Someone teach me how to speak German, because I'll be like, I need someone. I don't care if it's Himmler telling me that I did a good job. Well, a lot of our people are dying. You're the only one playing in your squad, and I'm pretty sure you know what?
10 miles out from target.
Don't help. Mel just won the Iron Cross.
Well, see it? Melissa's a double ace. 5 Americans.
Melissa's a double agent at this point.
No, 5. You're a double ace. 5 Americans and 5 Germans.
Stop shooting at me! Alright. Come here, you goddamn German bastard. I love German people. Protect the B-17. Yeah, have you met me? No, don't crash in front of me. Got him!
Yeah, you got him.
I friggin' got him! You take a lot of bullets!
That's number 4. One more, you're an ace. There's another one right there.
German, son of a bitch! No, you don't shoot him.
There you go.
Yes!
Now you got another one. Now you're an ace.
4 kill!
There's 1, there's 2.
There's 2 guppies I can take. There's 1. No! I just ran right into that plane. Classified redacted SS. A little bit.
Oh man, you gotta start from scratch again.
Hitler call, he says you're doing a damn fine double-crossing pilot. Where
That's
am
a shame,
I?
because you were an ace and now you gotta start all over.
There's no pleasing this man. Good luck. You guys can try. Let me know how that goes. Fuck, I just shot down. Why do they all fly so friggin' close? Nope, nope. 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 Nope.
Well, you want to stay out away from the bomber formation.
Then do I wanna?
And you either go below them or above them.
It's like flying with your dad.
Well, again, if you had a stick, it'd be a lot easier.
It would be. Get out of my friggin' strike zone.
I used to have one, but I don't think I kept it.
I haven't seen it. God damn it, he's gone. Alright.
Oh no, you got 4.
No, he's on my 6.
You got 4.
I'm McCoy. Great. There they are.
Yep. Now you got 6.
Oh God. Okay, that was
Now
a
you got
little...
7.
But thank you for the credit.
Well, I'm watching. You got them right up here.
Yeah, I know, but that's a team effort.
No, that's you.
Really?
Yeah.
How the hell am I suddenly weirdly good at... No, you come back... Can you at least crash and burn in a straight line? Those are very indiscriminate with their bullets. And it took you this long to learn that about me? No! Oh, you little shit. No! You just... What the hell? Okay, I'm about to get, like, viciously ill. Okay, there we go. I can work with this now. Come here, you. You're heading that way. I'm gonna start shooting that way. There he goes. He's down.
That's 10. What did they say? You just wiped out all 10 of them.
I know!
Oh, that's crazy. Now you gotta go do it all
Now I
over
gotta go
again.
do it all over again.
You
Fuck
can't,
it.
You can't get
Fuck it.
past this one? And
Fuck it.
Can't skip this one?
Nope.
Well, that sucks.
Weirdly, I'm doing better on the tank simulator than I did on this one. Oh. No. No. Killing so many other planes that are not German. Just burn, will ya? You know what, Brits? If you're just gonna be in the way of my bullets, then suck it.
Those
Wow.
are American airplanes.
Well, at this point, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck. Holy shit, Travis, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, how are you? Sorry, I mixed a whole bunch of different things in my head. This is my dad. By the way, he absolutely loves Sabios. I unbelievably miss it. And what have you been up to, sir? Travis is one of the first few people I ever met at Sabios, that place that I could not stop, like, raving to you guys about in Northern California. He actually was in the Air Force, and his daughter is embarrassing herself trying to not crash into planes. Bella's so thirsty for British blood. They wouldn't give me tea. My family got to go have tea today. I did not get to have tea. So yeah, some of this may be a little bit of... Wow. Did you see that guy just kamikaze him? Just... Would you? Just... Wow. Okay. Oh god. Nah. Oh man. Oh, we're a little high. We're a little low. Just please die. I don't care how many Brits I gotta take out. That's 10. Give
That's
me
10.
the friggin' win.
So you reach the checkpoint.
I'm gonna keep flying with the Armada and hope to God I'm going the right direction. Are we? Oh God! Look, your sister. Wow. Okay, the alcohol's kicking in. Your daughter's plane is about as stable as her hand right now. I got it. I killed the plane. He's disowning me. Everything is going well. Thank you so much, Travis. I hope things are going well with you too. How's the business, dude? Germans were actually so desperate to stop the bombers, they actually had a short-lived program where they were training German pilots to intentionally ram wings. Oh, so they were doing their version of kamikazes then.
Yeah, but the difference was that they were doing it in such a way that they were still able to bail out of the airplane. So,
that's a little bit smarter.
Their deal was to damage the airplane and still get out.
Oh.
Where the kamikazes that was strictly suicide. These guys weren't.
Yep.
These guys weren't suicide.
I don't know which is better. I mean, honestly. Ooh, got him. And he's not. Okay, I was gonna say you better be dead after that. Fuck! Can you stop knocking my nozzle? I love when I hit him in the head and the helmet goes flying off. Like, oh, you little shit. Don't you run. Don't you. Nope, it's personal now. Oh, he's already dead. Man. Where am I going? Get to the left flank. Okay, we're gonna get to the left flank. Oh, boy. Pearson, what are we doing? Well, there's your crotch. Oh, we gotta defend the tanks? Okay, so those of you guys who actually defended tanks, let me know in chat. Like, you're saying this is a real thing. Had it not been for people nearby.
Well, the infantry has a job to do, and that is to protect the tanks against what RPG type of things that can destroy a tank. So that's what your job is.
That makes sense.
But you also use a tank as a shield.
Yeah, like I'm doing right now. Oh,
and the other thing, they used to have a phone or a communication line in the back of the tank on the outside, so you can actually grab it and give the tank some direction.
Oh, that would help. Oh, damn it, he stopped short. Yeah, crotch shot you. Hold on, I have to stop bleeding for a second. Ooh, got that guy. Got him. Woo! Got him! Okay, stop shooting me, please. Yeah, Travis, I keep telling the guys at Sabio, I'm like, if you ever want to move down to Arizona, we're not restricting in-house dining. Just saying. Mostly because I just really want them to be down here because I miss their cuisine so bad. Got him. Got him. Ooh, got both of them. No, you die! There we go. Tanks are extremely vulnerable to infantry and AT systems if they have no support. I did not know that. I learned that there's a lot. Okay, tanks, I kind of need you to do a lot of damage real quick.
Yeah, it's surprising that they're not firing anything. So.
Right? There's only so much
plus the tanks
I can do.
The tanks have machine guns too, so.
Yeah, and they should really bust that shit out. Group, I'm trying to convince Chef to ship food. Please! I would love that. Aw, damn it. Well, that's 2. Defend your tanks. Really? Just really? Also, I need that cheesesteak nearby so badly, you have no idea. Like, all I have to do is just kill... Ugh! Who's shooting me? Okay, stop with the shooting me. What am I, friggin' hemophiliac? Come on. Fine, we're gonna do the fast gun then. Because apparently everything else sucks. 2. There's 3.
Nope, he's not dead yet.
I shot his feet out. There's 4. Okay, where are my goddamn objectives now? Because I killed those people. What even?
Your enemy is on this side and shooting at you, and you're not pointing in that direction. I'm trying to help.
Yeah, thanks, wingman.
Well, this is, see, that's showing you where the firing's coming from. That's hitting you.
Stop getting in front of your guns. My guns aren't doing shit! My guns are a gross disappointment right now. We tried not dying. You know what, Amma? There's all the people you wanted me to shoot. I have shot all the people you wanted me to shoot. What is this? Nope, 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 nope. What am I stuck on now? Sounds like your dad is saying pass controller. If I did, we would die a lot more.
But you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're letting the armor protect you.
He's not doing a great job.
He is. He just got you another life. He's keeping you alive.
Mel get hit by the mouse around Mel's body. Begins bleeding profusely. Yep. That's pretty true. Can I use this gun? No, I gotta go this way. Form up on the center lane. Alright. Who can't move? Everyone's fine. Well, someone's clearly dying, but I can't find them. Oh, this doesn't sound good. Holy crap! Where are you? You're not in the foxhole. Fuck it, I'm gonna use their guns. Whee!
That's the right gun to use.
That's the gun we need.
That was rated as one of the best.
What is this gun?
It's a German submachine. It's a German machine gun.
Yeah. Builds good guns.
Now, so you're taking hits. That's right. Now you're taking a hit right in front of you. There he is.
I am. There they are.
Yeah.
Woo! Popcorn! Yeehaw! There's someone bleeding nearby, but I swear to God they're invisible because I haven't been able to find them.
Well, you're getting ready to run out of ammo.
A little
you
bit.
Just did.
Next! Bye-bye. Give me another gun. Give me another gun! Ow! Hi. M1919 Browning machine gun. That's the one. Aunt Jan says, your Uncle Mitch just came in from the shop. Dinner time. Love you both. Bye, Aunt Jan!
See you, sis.
Press M to call in the airstrike. Crap. Stop shooting me. I missed, didn't I? Nope, got him. I don't know where the fuck they are. Son of a bitch! Otherwise known as crowd control. Alright, I gotta get in close. Fuck!
What you got to do, what somebody said is absolutely right. You're getting ahead of your gun.
I am.
So you're charging and you put yourself out there.
But they're not, like, I gotta go blow up that guy, but he's
But-
nowhere near.
But that's fine. But you look at somebody else and try to get them. You don't stick yourself out there like that.
Alright, well, we're gonna go heal ourselves. There they are. Hi! airstrike. I missed. Did we get him? Oh, gotta call another airstrike. There they are. Oh, well, they got that one. Ow, stop! What?
Well, get down.
I was!
Because you headed right into the fire.
What else do we need to friggin'... Oh, they're running this way. So I'll follow. I have no target. Well, tell me what you want me to do! Maybe I just have to clear up the rabble. Yeah, there's no... Ooh, I'll take the Garand, thank you.
See, you're
There he
shooting
is.
over here and you're taking hits from over there.
Oh, that guy's dead. Oh, there he is. Son of a bitch! Why are you ours? I'm wearing different colors. Rally on Pearson. Fine. Oh, there's where he is. Sorry, dude. I gotta progress things.
Daniels, tell me that radio still works. Affirmative. Call in an airstrike on those tanks. They're inside the safety room. It's too slow. Rover, we need immediate air support tonight. What are our coordinates?
Hell's thirst for allied blood knows no limit. You know...
Go! Get to cover! He lost it! This way, Dan!
Okay. Foxhole! Oh, nope, we didn't make it. Time to crawl.
Well, you're taking hits from behind you.
I have no gun.
Give me your pistol!
She's a German legend. Yeah! I don't like this gun, but oh, are you kidding
You got
me?
a Tiger tank there. You need to bug out.
A little bit.
Yeah. And he's got his 88 pointed right at you.
Right at my face. She's a German legend.
Pass me up to my ears, start ringing. I can't feel my hand. It's because I'm sitting on it.
Oh, that's because your ass is on it.
Question for you, Corporal. How long has Pearson been out of his goddamn mind? It's above my pay grade. Probably get a medal for it.
Afghanistan, when you call it an S strike, that's danger close. They actually make you sign up with your initials for the strike so no one else can get the blame if it lands on you.
Yes, sir.
That's respectable. I support that theory.
I've seen that look before. It's right before Casserine. We're on our own, boys.
Hey, Joseph! What's up, dude? I think we're actually kind of wrapping this one up. Imagine having to do the paperwork in the middle of a firefight to order a bomb on yourself.
We made it and defended the convoy.
Hey, we survived!
Hail Mary dead in his tracks. Turner would have been proud.
Oh, wow. I thought I was going to disappoint my dad on the tank commands. No, now he knows that his daughter can not only not pilot an airplane, but also cannot provide cover fire.
Well, the pilot of the airplane, you cannot do it successfully. I mean, doing it with this is almost impossible. You know, I mean, so therefore, you know, I'm not gonna criticize you for what you did there because you're really handicapped. Okay? If you had a stick, it'd be a lot easier. Hmm?
Oh, nothing.
What did you say?
I said it means his daughter's retarded.
No, it doesn't mean that. Yeah, listen to what I'm saying. If you had a stick, it'd be a different story. I tried to fly. What was that thing with? You know, you fly airplanes and stuff.
Daughter had a stick, it'd be your son.
But anyway, I had a hard time controlling an airplane, trying to do it with the mouse, and I went.
Oh, a flight simulator? Yeah.
I had to get a stick in order to do it, and that's the same thing, especially if you're flying combat. You got to have something that you can control. And
you do. This is not the best controls. No. It's like World War II, Call of Duty World War II. It's a fun campaign, and I highly recommend. Like, if you've got the money to burn, play it because it really does. Like what my dad's been saying, it really does give you like the sense of what that engagement really was. Now the controls suck. The storyline, meh. I think the storyline in Cold War is better, but
well, this storyline here, from what I can see here, has nothing to do with the Battle of the Bulge. I mean, this is not the kind of I see nothing here that resembles the Battle of the Bulge. It's just a
really
fight. Yeah. In the beginning, the Germans just ran right over the U.S.
They
troops.
just like punched through.
Yeah, and it was basically tanks that were leading the way, and they were German Tigers.
Oh God!
And they didn't really get down. I mean, they put up a fight. The Americans did, but a lot of them got massacred and stuff. I mean, there was really.
It was pretty bloody, from what I heard.
It didn't, you know. But the only time you really got involved with something like this was Bastogne.
Really?
Yeah, because Bastogne, the Germans had surrounded it, and they were actually trying to take the town. And they were fighting on the outskirts, like something like this is. But I mean, this is. I'm not saying that this is authentic World War II. There's nothing here to suggest this is really Battle of the Bulge except the name.
Although we did have a fair number of tanks that we had to unfortunately stand up against. Well, yeah, we had air support, thank God.
Well, we didn't have it in the beginning. I mean, that's why the Germans were able to go as far as they did because all our airplanes were grounded.
Why were they grounded?
Because of weather. You can't
really?
you can't destroy something you can't see.
Well, I mean that's true, but I thought that was an issue for like D-Day.
No, it was a big issue for the Battle of the Bulge. And once the climate cleared, then the war changed. Two things happened: the skies cleared, and Patton reached Bastogne.
God, they never taught me about Bastogne. Like this, I feel like this is the first time I'm learning about Bastogne.
Well, my social studies teacher from Curtis, he was actually involved in Battle of Bastogne. He was with the 101st Airborne.
Wow.
He's still alive. In fact, he was down in San Diego. He's 95 years old right now, and the Army has the Golden Knights, which is a paratrooper. Like almost like, you know, they do displays and stuff like that, you know, all tricks and everything. I forget the word, but anyway, so he was talking to him over there, and he was telling him, he said, "God," he said, "if I had a wish, I wish I can do this one more time." They took him up, and they did a dual thing where they strapped him onto a Golden Knight, and he jumped out of the airplane. There he was. I got a picture of him too, and he's got this big laugh on his face and stuff. Well, the number 3 guy at American Airlines is David Seymour, and I know him very well. We used to sit, your mother and I used to sit at the same table with him and his wife and a few others during the parties. And so I sent.
Hey, thank you so much for the sub. Sorry, please continue.
So I sent him that, and he came back to me. He said, "This is so cool, Al."
Wow, like in none of my history classes did they ever. I cannot remember. Like, the name itself sounds familiar, but I'm pretty sure they spent no time talking about the Battle of Bayonne.
Bastogne.
Bayonne is a different war, isn't it?
No, Bayonne is a city in New Jersey.
Wow, okay. Then my history teacher was really confused. See, one guy actually stopped the entire German division by standing in the road on the first day and stalled them by saying he needed to talk to his commander before letting them pass. Now, that's fascinating.
I didn't hear about that, but that doesn't surprise me.
You know, like, the interesting shit that people do during wars, and it's really...
I mean, I kind of, the Germans weren't going to stop for anybody.
No, God, no.
I mean, they were on a clock. They had, I forget how many hours, but they were on a clock, and they were told not to stop. That's why they didn't stop to handle prisoners. They shot them most of the time.
Yeah.
And they had their goal was to get to get to the port of I can't think of the name of it, and they had very limited fuel and they had very limited ammo. So one guy standing in front of them to try to stop him, I would question that. They would have ran his ass over. But that's what ended the Battle of the Bulge, was that the Americans and the British, especially the Americans, were able to slow the Germans down enough, and they basically ran out of gas.
Well, I mean, that's kind of interesting, because normally, from what you hear, because like the German thing was, blitzkrieg, and it wasn't like a direct attack, it was always surround and cut off. But Battle of the Bulge is really kind of like one fist straight through.
Well, actually, blitzkrieg was the same thing. They went straight through. They didn't worry about their flanks. They had hosts.
Really?
They had aircraft, like Stukers and stuff like that, and they had tanks, and they just blew right through everything that was in front of them.
Wow. It says, Bill and I learned a bit more military-wise because our history leader was in Desert Storm. I remember living through Desert Storm. I remember, like, learning nothing about it, which is really sad because it was real stuff during the time. But they were like, yeah, we're fighting a desert.
Well, actually, if you
war in a desert.
If you slept too late, you missed the war.
Really?
It only lasted 100 hours.
The first Desert Storm?
Yeah.
You're kidding. I thought that was at least like 3 years, like 94,
No,
95,
you're thinking of the second Iraq War. Of course,
oh, am I?
That Desert Storm was the one that Bush Senior ran in.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, it lasted 100 hours.
Huh.
We took on the fourth largest military in the world, and pretty much just annihilated them in 100 hours. Well, that was a lot of that had to do with both the aircraft that we had, because that controlled the skies,
right?
With the M1 Abrams tank, which was far superior than anything the Iraqis had. In fact, it actually scared the Russians. The Russians, oh yeah, because the Russians were counting on their tanks to at least match up with the M1. Not even close.
Were they like waiting in the wings to see who won the skirmish?
No, our tanks went in there, but they were able to hit their tanks from long range, and oh yeah, and the M1 Abrams is just a superior tank, and so you had that going on, and then you also had they called it the Hail Mary, which is.
I love that term.
Yeah, the Iraqis thought that we were going to go ahead and land the Marines in Kuwait. And we actually got them to believe that because we had a battleship, I forget which one it was, that was actually firing. They were simulated, getting ready to make a landing. And while the Iraqis were worried about that, Schwarzkopf, who ran the war,
forgot about Schwarzkopf.
They went around and got behind the Iraqis.
So he pulled a hat trick.
Yeah.
Okay. Go Schwarzkopf.
And then the other thing too was the Apache helicopter was devastating.
Oh, I love the Apache helicopter.
Yeah, that was devastating. So.
Is it still flyable?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's one of the most difficult helicopters there is to learn how to fly.
Why is that?
It's a very sophisticated helicopter. I mean, it's fast. It's got high-tech weapon systems in it. It's got the kind that the pilot points his head and there's a gun underneath the belly.
No
that
way.
Follows away.
It plays Call of Duty. Yeah. Now, does it have the same prop system? Like it's got the horizontal and the vertical?
No, it's got a rotor, and it's got a tail rotor, which is this way.
Right.
And then you got the regular rotor across the top.
Oh, okay. So it's got both of the... Okay.
But it's a devastating helicopter though. I mean it shoots a special kind of bullet.
Oh.
Yeah, it's depleted uranium.
Holy shit! You're kidding.
It'll go through a tank.
Oh yeah, it would, because that has like more mass than anything.
That and it's hard.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and then you got rockets on and stuff like that. So between all of that, then we had the F-117 stealth fighter went in there and basically took out the Iraqi radar systems and those kind of things. So
damn,
Saddam Hussein didn't have it. He didn't have a chance.
Huh? But Lord of Cancer says, "Did you know we almost came really close to a nuclear winter during Desert Storm? I barely avoided it." No, that's interesting. I gotta remember when that was. Like the whole Desert Storm.
91.
Was that 91?
1990s.
Okay, I feel like I blinked and it passed me by.
The Iraqi wars was under his son.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Benjamin the Rose says, check out the Battle of Lanzerath Ridge. A recon element consisting of 2 squads stopped the entire 1st Panzer Division for 28 hours. The Apache was Afghanistan. When you see it lurking around valleys looking for prey, it looks very much like a living predator. Mm-hmm. That is so cool.
Well, during the Battle of Bulge, there was some elements that went out there and they were blowing up bridges and stuff like that, and they did slow down the Germans.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
because in the last mission, you weren't here for this. We had to actually defend a bridge, and your daughter did not do a good job.
Well, hey, a lot of people get trained how to do that.
Like, can I just run intel? I feel like I'd be a lot better at intel and maybe a little bit of sniper game. Like, that is my bread and butter. You take me out of anything of that and no go. I am just the worst. And I still have not seen the movie Alien vs. Predator. I also have not seen Predator, and I feel embarrassed to call myself an 80s kid having never seen those movies.
I never saw them either, but I'm not an 80s kid.
I know you're not. But your daughter is, and she hasn't seen them, and it's very embarrassing. Although I'm not a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan.
I don't get into that too much because it's really phony.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be, obviously, but I just can't get into that.
Benjamin the Rogue says, depleted uranium is also self-sharpening. That's interesting. And self-ignite. So it's like kind of like a magnesium round then. Well,
on top of that, the round that they were using on the M1 tanks, it was about that big around, about that long. But that wasn't it. What happened, once you shoot it, then the shell would peel off, and you had a rod about that big around, and about that long, depleted uranium, and it would hit the tank so hard. There was no explosive in there, but the energy that it caused would actually take melt that, and it would send in stuff inside the tank and shrapnel and stuff, and that would kill everybody in the tank.
Holy crap! See, now when you think, oh man, this all this depleted uranium, what are we gonna do with it? Well, recycling works, people. It works.
Well, there is a concern that everybody, the weapons folks that handle depleted uranium, whether it was really that safe
because of the lasting radiation.
Yeah. So nobody's been able to prove it, but they're worried about it.
Well, because humankind, because we're such soft tissue, species, we don't handle radiation well at all. That's why roaches will outlive all of us because of their exoskeleton. We don't handle radiation well because our cells, at a drop of a hat, like, mutate, cool, sure, boom, here you go. Which sucks, and that's also why I'm absolutely addicted. I don't think my dad would get into this, but I absolutely love Stranger Things because I totally believe in the whole the other universe is basically what would have happened had we lost the Cold War, and it is a nuclear winter. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. Octeric says there's a solution. Humanity needs to evolve to have exoskeletons. I mean, that'd be great. I don't know how fast we're going to get there, because apparently roaches won that war and we didn't. Benjamin the Rogue says you can handle depleted uranium rounds fine. It's after it's fired, it's more of a problem. Why is that?
Because it breaks up into small pieces.
Oh,
so.
because of the nucleus. Got it. So it almost kind of re-triggers that half-life.
But there's nothing harder than that, so that's why it's
true.
so effective.
Yeah.
We didn't have that in Vietnam. We had all kinds of fun things. Like we had what we used to call an instant landing zone bomb, which was a 15,000 pound that they rolled off the back of a C-130.
Fuck.
So if you're looking at the jungle and you want a landing zone for the helicopters, you drop this thing off the back, it comes down, boom.
Landing zone.
Instant landing zone. Later on, during the military went ahead and perfected that. Now they call it the mother of all bombs or something like that.
The MOAB, yeah.
They use that over in Vietnam and stuff.
That's where
not
that
Vietnam,
came
but
from.
Afghanistan. Yep. Yeah. Well, good thing about it was with us in Vietnam, we wanted the thing to go off before it actually hit the ground because we're looking to clear out an area.
Yeah.
Where if you're over in the Middle East war, you use that to go through bunkers and stuff.
Oh, it's a bunker buster completely.
Yeah, it'll go through the bunker before it explodes.
Oh, that's interesting.
So there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah, totally. Lord of Cancer says, do you think the next season of Stranger Things is going to be in Chernobyl? I like the whole story of Stranger Things has to touch upon Chernobyl.
Oh, yeah.
Because, well, I mean, my dad's saying this. You have not seen Stranger Things, have you?
No, but I know about Chernobyl.
Well, yeah, it's an amazing story. So it's a TV show. They talk about this like alternate universe, but when they flip into the alternate universe, it's giving you a lot of stuff that makes you almost kind of think it's what would have happened had we lost the Cold War and both areas kind of fired on it. Like you see the nuclear fallout, but it's like this weird kind of dust snow, and a lot of us are thinking, this is what we're seeing is what would have happened had both sides just kind of fired on each other. So yes, I do honestly think they have to touch on Chernobyl, and because I saw a little bit of the clips where we see our favorite officer, I think they're going to definitely incorporate parts of Chernobyl because they want to keep that part of the zeitgeist of Stranger Things. Gonna head out for here for now. I will keep you updated on the tank situation. Please let me know how you get through that because he's doing it on controller, so we're gonna see does that actually work better. Benjamin the Rogue says uranium isn't actually toxic to humans. Interesting.
Uranium is not?
That's fascinating.
No. It is.
Well, hold on a second. He says uranium is found in the soil, so we evolved with it all around us. Plutonium, however, is horribly poisonous to us in addition to being stupidly radioactive. And if I remember correctly, there is a bit of plutonium in the U-bomb, right? Because that's what gets the nucleus of the uranium to split.
In the beginning.
Right.
All right, the first two bombs that we dropped, one was a uranium bomb and one was a plutonium bomb.
Okay.
And they were different, but the uranium bomb, the radiation that came off of that was devastating.
Still pretty devastating.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
So there is no safe atomic weapon at all that they've been able to come up with. So the only thing that they tried, but Jimmy Carter tried it, but everybody was against it, and that was a neutron bomb. And the thing about it would kill people, but it wouldn't destroy
preserve the buildings.
Exactly,
yeah, they actually mentioned that in the Cold War games where they were talking about, like, apparently what they do is they say we had a Project Greenlight, and they said that it wasn't Carter, but the guy before Carter, Eisenhower. He said, we fear that the Reds may just push through. So to stop them, we were going to put uranium bombs like right along the Iron Curtain, and he said eventually they switched them off to neutron bombs so that way it would kill people but save the buildings.
Well, actually, we had atomic weapons based in Germany, based in Europe, but not that many of them. There was never a real fear, except during the October Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh, God.
That there was a real fear that we were going to end up in an atomic war. I mean, the Russians were not going to do it. We weren't going to do it because we knew the outcome.
Oh, yeah.
And the outcome was unacceptable. Now, the big thing wasn't the atomic bomb as far as the neutron, as far as the
risk.
the uranium bomb but the hydrogen bomb was. I mean, that's what they call a thermonuclear. It's about 1,000 times more powerful than the uranium bomb is.
Right.
But that actually, that triggers that is actually an atomic bomb inside that bomb.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's what's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Benjamin the Rogue says, I worked on and loaded bunker busters. That is cool. The modern ones are insanely advanced. They know exactly how far down they are before they detonate, among other interesting features. Little known fact, every dial-a-yield nuclear bomb can also double as a neutron bomb. I did not know that. By the way, every modern nuclear warhead is a dial-a-yield. I mean, it would make sense because you want to control the devastation. This is fascinating.
Yeah, it's really, you get into the science of it. Well, I was helping a guy out back up in the Bay Area, Robert Cantu, and he had a guy working for his company who retired from Lawrence Livermore Lab.
Yeah.
And if you ever see,
which we used to live near.
Yeah, there used to be a documentary, and you see where they put an atomic shell in a piece of artillery, and it fires, and you see the mushroom cloud way out there.
That's what we talk about, atomic warhead.
Yeah, he was. Well, this is coming from it's not a bomb. This is actually a shell.
Oh shit!
And the guy who was the project manager that I know, or I knew him. I don't know if he's still alive because he was pretty old by then. But no, the threat after the October missile crisis scared both the United States and Soviet Union to a point that there was no way that either one of them was going to start a nuclear war.
Well, I'm glad it scared both of us.
And even to this day, Russia is going to play games with us. China's going to play games with us, and you know they're going to try to do some stuff with us. But the people we got to watch out for is the North Koreans and also the Iranians.
The ones that are happy to see everyone die.
They don't give a damn.
Yeah.
You know. So, but then again, you know. It's easy to take either country. Well, North Korea is tough.
North Korea is tough.
But China's not going to allow North Korea to do anything because if somebody retaliates against North Korea, a lot of fallout is going to blow right into China. So they know that.
So China kind of has a little bit of a leash on North Korea?
They got enough because North Korea can't survive without China. Okay.
Oh,
but
that's interesting.
But in Iran's a different story. Iran is probably the biggest threat in the world right now.
I would agree.
Right? But then again, we could take out Iran anytime we want.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, you got the largest portion of the population now is the youth, and they don't like the regime over there.
Oh, who would?
And that's one of the things Trump was trying to do.
Yeah.
Was to try to help the those
give
folks.
Them some support.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we don't want to go ahead and we want the people inside Iran to bring down their own government. So.
Oh, Benjamin the Rogue says something interesting. If you hold up your thumb to the nuclear explosion and your thumb blots out the explosion, you're safe from the radiation as long as you're not downwind. Oh, because like a backdraft kind of a situation?
Well, it depends on how close you are to the explosion.
Oh, that's also true. And that's why I was always interesting, because I was playing through Call of Duty Cold War, and they were talking about the new kind of bomb that somehow managed to kill people without kill buildings. How does that happen?
That's a neutron bomb.
Okay, so how does that work?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Okay, I'm going to have to look into that, because I'm like, it's got to be some kind of like poison or something.
Well, no, if you look at the atomic bomb, what does the damage, and it's with any kind of explosive, it's the pressure that causes the damage, okay?
Right, because of our soft tissue.
Well, no, it does for any. When an atomic bomb goes off, it creates such pressure that comes out like this,
right?
And that's what takes out buildings and people and stuff like that.
And doesn't it suck it right back in?
And then what happens? It sucks it right back in.
Yeah.
And that's where the majority. But
that's
any,
the mushroom crowd.
But any nuclear bomb, nuclear weapon
is going to do that.
Is also it's also going to be the fallout, and it's also going to be the poisoning from the plutonium or whatever you use. I mean, it's just highly. It was highly poisoned. That's why they were shocked when they went into Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and they were shocked when they saw all the wounds and everything from the fallout.
It was pretty devastating to see pictures of that.
If you're going to be involved in that, you want to be at ground zero. You want that soundbase to blow up right over the top of your head.
I'm sorry, you've never seen this show, but those of you guys who have seen this, you remember Family Guy, and they're doing this whole thing about this Japanese guy who's having like the worst day possible, and it's the day of the first bomb, and so you just see him like have a horrible day. He just got fired. He just got a ticket on his car. And he's looking up at something dropping down, and you think it's the U-bomb, and this is like this giant ape for some reason. It just starts attacking him. That is totally playing in my head right now. Alma says, basically, as long as you can't see the explosion behind your thumb, it means you're far enough away. And Benjamin the Rogue says, yes.
I don't know about that.
Octaric says, the neutron bomb maximizes the lethal radiation. Okay, that's why it's lethal to humans, but not buildings. Okay. A neutron bomb maximizes the lethal radiation in the vicinity in the blast while minimizing the physical blast.
Problem is, you still got another problem.
What's that?
You can't go into that zone for the next 1,000 years.
And that's why we can't go into Pripyat. I always forget the name.
Well, you can't go. There's places you can't go into. For example, Bikini Atoll. Even after all these years, they still have a problem because all the radiation stuff is still in the plants and stuff like that. So
and weirdly, like the animals are just walking around with it in their fur.
That's true. I mean, it's better now than it was back then. But and that's the other part of the problem you got with nuclear weapons is that once you use them,
you salted the earth. Yeah,
you can't go into that area anymore.
Yep.
So. And then you talk about half-lives that are several thousand years.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we're ever going to walk back into Pripyat.
No.
Probably ever. What they call that, the elephant's foot. It was the meltdown of the... I mean, it's so funny if you look at it, because I don't think we'd ever, like, pick this out. But you look at, like, the Titanic sinking, and you look at the meltdown of the nuclear core... And it's the too big to fail. It's the perfect storm of everything going wrong. And it's so... The impact is so amazing. And you keep thinking like, wow, this could have never happened. And it happened. Yeah, Chernobyl's radiation has actually dropped significantly. Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, half-life is exponential.
Yeah. By the way, going back to what somebody said, if you put your thumb up there, I was just thinking about it, he's probably right. Because if you look at the blast itself, and if you can hold your thumb up like this, you're probably several hundred miles away.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so in that case, it would make sense.
Alma says, yeah, the guy in Fallout games isn't giving you the thumbs up. He's checking the size of the explosion.
There you go.
You know, that is fair. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I know... Cocktail Dad's probably gonna have to retire for the night. He's been very busy helping me out with the house, and I super appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I'll send you the bill.
Yeah, you will, especially after watching your daughter just horribly fly a plane and basically helping out the Germans. How embarrassing was that? Let's see if there's anyone else that we can go visit. I doubt anyone else is live on YouTube. I'm the only one live on YouTube. Yay! YouTube, fix your shit. I don't understand why you can't get your crap together. Let's see who's on Twitch so we can go visit.
Well, I'm headed to the...
Cool.
All right, you guys have fun.
Thank you, Cocktail Dad. Oh, god damn it. I gotta mute that site. Okay, let's see who's live. We got Pixel Perfect playing Tom Clancy's Rainbow... I've never gotten into Rainbow Six. You know, we haven't seen Officer Dan in a happy minute. How about we go visit Officer Dan? And then we will... Because we're going to be live tomorrow night. We're going to be playing the new chapter, I cannot wait, of Not For Broadcast. If you guys have not seen this game, Tune in tomorrow night. I cannot wait to see what they have for us. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Here is the link to Officer Dan if you'd love to come by and say hi. Guys, thank you so much. This has been an absolutely fun night of hanging out with you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream, have enjoyed Cocktail Dad. I know he absolutely loves chatting with you. It's so nice for him because, you know, he doesn't have a lot of war buddies. And it's so awesome that there's so many people who are not only like military folks in the chat, but who are also like fellow military brats who like enjoy talking about this kind of stuff, and you know, like who respect it like much like I do. So thank you guys so much. I know he absolutely appreciates this. We're going to go visit Officer Dan. Why is there a clown? I don't know what he's doing. But let's go say hi to him. Oh, Benjamin Rogue, thank you so much for the donation. Super chat for your dad and you. This is $5 to get a drink for him on my behalf. Thank you so much. He does love, he's a rye fan. He's definitely a corn rye fan. So I'm going to go give him something special for you. Thank you so much. We will see all you guys tomorrow night for the new chapter of Not for Broadcast. I cannot wait, and I will see you awesome people over on twitch.tv/SodaWave Live in a couple of seconds. Bye guys!